Hey everyone, we're going to go over the event nodes, which are within the flow category today. They have a number of uses, and some of them are harder to kind of explain than others, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So here I have a Logix tooltip, and I'm going to open up the node menu. Within the node menu, you can go to flow and then events, and you'll see all of the events are here. I've taken the liberty of spawning them all out, and not only that, I've got a display node coming out of all of them. To create one of those, just put your tip in to the node, bring out a wire, and then secondary click, and you'll get a display node. So we can kill that one now. There we go. You'll notice that these top four have got an input of Boolean, and that allows you to run the event only on the host rather than on every user. That's kind of useful for sort of gameplay mechanics or stuff that you need to happen basically only once and only on the host. You'll usually know when you need to use that. It's like gamey stuff or world management stuff. So let's go through what the various events do. So first of all, we're going to take a look at the on-activated and on-deactivated ones, because those are super easy to observe. So here on the on-activated, we're going to go ahead and inspect the node. Go to the root of the node here, and then we're going to deactivate it and then activate it, and you'll see a pulse is generated here. So once more, deactivated, no pulse, activated, and pulse. Let's inspect the on deactivated node. Go to the top. And you'll see this happens when I deactivate it and turns back and does no event when I turn it back on again. It's only when I uncheck it. So what are these useful for? These are useful if they're packed into a hierarchy, because they respect a hierarchy. So say you had a box here, and on our box we just packed up our Logix. So we're going to select the box, and we're going to set a packing route here, and then I'm going to pack on deactivated and on deactivated, and I'm going to go ahead and reveal them again just for demonstration purposes. You might imagine a big Logix chain here, but what we've basically got now here is some Logix nodes that are parented to a box here. So now when I deactivate it, you'll see that pulse went off. You won't see the effect because the pulse went off and then the display node got turned off. Let's fix that a bit better. We can do that by spawning a new display node for both of these, because that won't be parented. The wire will, but the result won't be. So these are now outside of the object, and then we can delete these two. I got them. So once again here, I can turn off the box, and you'll see that the deactivated pulse fired, and then I can turn on the box, and you'll see that the activated box display node applied. So this is useful for basically doing an interaction or an event when an object is created. I often use this in combination with the grab instancer or any sort of duplicate slot operation, because it lets you say, when this thing is created, do something. Examples include the deck of cards I've created. When a card is pulled off of the deck, it will ask the deck manager, give me the card that I should be, and then the deck manager will come back and say, you're this card. And that's how we get the fair card there, with not just the same card again, you know, Ace of Hearts like 4 times or whatever. That's that one. So what's next? The on destroy node is also quite easy to show. Again, I'm going to just show it basically without anything, and then maybe we'll parent it up to that box as well. So if I go ahead and destroy this, you'll see we get a pulse here. Let me spawn that again. And so you'll see here, if I were to pack that into the box as well, there you go, it's in the box. What's in the box? Then we're going to reveal it again. And then we're going to pull a display node, and then we're going to go ahead and destroy that box. That display node is not parented, so we should be good. It'll hang about. So we're going to destroy the box, and you'll see this event is generated. So that's what on destroying does. Sorry, on destroyed. On destroying does it before the destroy operation happens. So it's shortly before the actual destroy. So you can do a series of operations where you clean up an object before it is destroyed. So I won't show on destroying because it's situational. Basically, you have one impulse to do what you need to do before the object gets destroyed. So it's like a sort of final countdown, if you like, for the object being destroyed. I mostly use on destroy, but sometimes if you need a reference to something within the object, such as you want to like deparent something from the object when it's destroyed, you'll need to use on destroying. on duplicate will emit an event when something is duplicated. So if I go ahead and duplicate this, we'll get an event each time because I am duplicating this and then relinking it up to the same display node. To illustrate this a bit better here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take just one of these, and again we're going to parent it to that cube. So again we're showing here's a box. Got some lights there, I don't particularly know why they're there. I think I was doing an earlier take of this video. Don't need that for a second. Go set packing route. So we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna. Oh, I need to get the inspector again. And then we're gonna reveal here again, and then we will pull out a display node here. So again, here we've got the box with a duplicate node parented underneath it. So when I duplicate my box, not only do I get two boxes, but I also get two on duplicate events that then fire here. So this can be useful for, again, grab instances, because a grab instance is like a duplication event or duplicate slot. It can also detect when people duplicate it by their hands. Maybe you want to do something custom or something funny when you do that. We're going to do a setup for on duplicate, which is easy to see how to apply it in the kind of world. So it gives an example. So I'm going to go ahead and inspect my box here, and I'm going to go to the bottom here, and I'm going to attach a material directly to the box. So I'm going to do assets, materials, and then we'll just do unlit, because all we really need here is a color. So now we've got the material on the box. I will link to my video where I talk about putting materials on an object so you can Logix them easier. That's what we're doing here again. So now we're on that. So we'll see it's now white. And so now what we're going to do is on duplicate, we're going to go to this material. And you see this tint color property. We are going to write a random hue to it. So we know math, random, and then random hue. And then we'll also need actions right. So back actions right. You write a random hue to tint color. I'm going to do that, not that one, this one, on duplicate. That's our setup done. So now when I pack this Logix up, and remove this, and clear my doodads. Now whenever I duplicate this box, you'll see that the duplicate has a random color. That's quite pretty, actually. That's on duplicate for you. What have you got left? Let's clear some space. On start's really useful for when the world starts. So I have one of these floating around in Gemini, which will change up the puzzle solution to Gemini when the map starts. The easiest way to show this one is actually to just quickly save the world and then come back. So what we're going to do here is we're going to observe that there is no impulse here, so nothing's happened. We're going to go ahead and save this world. So I'm just going to quickly call it temp. Save it to my temporary directory so I can remove it later. Temp, and then I'm going to turn on private UI so you can see me saving it. 1 second. Temp world folder has, we'll just have to do another temp folder. So my temp world folder has got some puzzle spoilers in it. Just remember that. So we'll create a temp2 folder. There we go. So render private UI. So I'm going to go ahead and save the world here. So save as, it'll say temp, save to the inventory. And there it is in temp, and then we're going to close and save. And we're back in my home world, and then we're going to spawn in the temp world orb, and we're going to go ahead and open up that world if no one can join. One more time. Oh, that's awkward. No one can join, go. Ah, there we go. And we're back here, and you'll see one pulses occurred. Not only that, you'll see it has a very short last pulse time. On these display nodes, the last pulse is the tick interval that it happened on. You can test that by, if you go to one of these display nodes here, and you pull out just a white, and then you can pulse it. And you'll see that this is constantly going up, and this is going up every second, as that's how many world seconds were happening before the pulse occurred. And so here you can see that very short, just barely even like a little bit of a second after, well, I don't know what that is, microsecond or a nanosecond, I don't remember. Shortly after the world started, this one fired, and it fired once. You'll also notice that on loaded fired, and that's because on loaded fires when something is loaded. Try experimenting with this when you load an item, but I always do on paste or on start for items as well, because it works for those. You'll see on paste doesn't have anything here, and that's because on paste is an operation when you take stuff between worlds, I think. And this is the one I couldn't get to work, so we'll try it here. So I should still have my private UI on, so I should be able to see my world manager. So if I go to home here, okay, it didn't copy the wire. I'm not sure what on paste does then. Like I said at the start, some of these nodes are harder to figure out than others, and I haven't found a use for on paste yet. I'm not entirely sure what triggers it. But that's on start and on loaded for you. We'll leave on pasted. That's all the event nodes. You can use these to do various things, smarter things than this, where you're just changing the color. But this is kind of fun. Make sure that anyone's got their own colored box. It's also useful for guns and things that other complex gadgets that have got stuff that they need to do when they load, or when they start, or when they're duplicated, or when they're activated. If they need to sync some state, update some values, reset some values, it's easy to do that. I will see you next time for more videos. Leave a comment in the comment section if you have any questions. If you figure out the on paste event, please do let me know. Or if you come up with any issues with any of these nodes, let me know. I'll clarify some stuff for you in the comments. Thank you. Goodbye.